But just a little bit of an intro I want to cover here. They just released the elements and the weapons of these characters. Ameth is fusion, not glacial, and she's not even a rectifier. I think this is a sword. Yeah, it's probably a sword. And then Luuk turns out to be spectral and gauntlet. That's what this video is going to be about, because I did mention that he's going to be certain things like this, and I was pretty much correct with almost all of it. And if you want to continue watching the video, I was theorizing all that stuff. Go for it. I hope you enjoy. So yeah, just when I thought they were gonna release only one character per patch, just when I thought they are actually learning from their mistakes and how predatory they get, they just kept it up and kept going with it. And look, I'm not really all that mad about it. I kind of expected. There's just no way they're releasing just Ameth alone, right? They're gonna release one more character, as they always did during Rinasita's release as well. So we're getting 2 characters again. And guess what? I won both of them again! And I probably won't be able to get either of them. Hey, look, they just released Luuk Hersen, or should I call him? I mean, you know how Japanese VA goes, right? Ryuke, or something like that. It's a nice pronunciation. In a way, it kind of fits his personality a lot more than Luuk. But yeah, I look at this character. Look, let's give it a little bit of a close-up here, okay? He looks so menacing. For some reason, he looks like a character that is planning something evil in the background behind the MC's back. And there's this statue behind him, and he's holding some sort of wand. And that really made me think, is it a rectify user? I still think my theory was a lot more closer, because of his hand. One of his coat sleeve is cut off, and he has his forearm exposed. That means that there's gonna be a gauntlet, only one gauntlet, like Zani, right? Zani only has one gauntlet on her arm. So I'm assuming it's gonna be a gauntlet, but this one thing really makes me feel like, yeah, there's gonna be some sort of magical hitbox, where the hitbox is actually far away. There's gonna be some distance attack between you and the enemy. I think that's gonna play a huge part. Either that, or there's gonna be some healing, because he is a doctor, right? And I know this is gonna sound a little bit cliche. He's a doctor, so he's gonna be a healer, a buffer. But let's look at the pattern here, okay? Look at the pattern of how Kurogames built their male characters. For example, Brant, he's a healer. He's also a shielder. But at the same time, he's a very good sub-DPS and also has a capability to become a good DPS himself. And look at Chuyuan. He doesn't heal, he doesn't do all the shield stuff as well, but he's a decent sub-DPS, and he's mainly played as a sub-DPS because he doesn't really do exactly all that much damage until he gets to S3. And that is the pattern, and I'm assuming this doctor will be exactly the same way. They already put him in the box where he is just a doctor. So Luuk here is gonna be some sort of sub-DPS, healer, buffer. That is my best guess.
Right.
Now let's give it a read real quick. And I know when I covered Ameth, I was kind of tired, okay? I was a bit sleepy and I was doing the record session a bit late in the nighttime. So at least I should do the Luuk Hersen character correctly. May this gold become your most reliable blade. Now they say reliable blade, what does that mean? Is he talking about this one thing? Is it going to be like a sword, a blade? Maybe I'm stretching a bit too far here. Archive, Luuk Hersen, attending doctor and counselor at Startorch Academy, is warm and friendly. Yes, he is. He seems to also know Rover's past, but also decide to keep it a secret and just play along. But either way, he definitely knows Rover's past, and that in itself kind of give us a clue that how long Luuk Hersen has been living. He could even be just as ancient as Rover is. We don't really know Rover's age, but we possibly think that the character themselves is somewhat of deity level stuff, right? So Luuk Hersen here knows that Rover attended the school even in the past, so that makes him somewhat of a very strong unit that is very capable and knowledgeable in the past for a very long time already. His past is one of blood and lies, but he refused to be defined by his past, never relenting in his effort to cut open lies to reveal the truth within. So it seems like he also have a dark past, and when he looks like this, the guy looks menacing, okay? Like he looks kind of like an evil character that is just pretending to be good. And God, I would hope so. But he does seems very, very kind in the previous quest that we've seen him. He seems like he's alright. He's an alright guy. He seems very friendly and all that. There's gotta be something, okay? There's gotta be something from this face. He looks like he's plotting something. I just can't prove it. But I would love for a character to not be all that goody two-shoe just because they're male characters. They're gonna be friendly. Like Chuyuan is a friendly guy at the end of the day, but he's a lot more emo. He's a lot more emo compared to Brant. Brant is a lot more friendly and happy-go-lucky. I don't want the male characters to be all happy and friendly towards the rover. I would love somebody to actually have a dark truth behind and actually kept secrets about the rover or something like that, you know? And he could be an enemy, but it's just playable. I think that would be a nice touch to Wuthering Waves stories and allowing the villains to also be playable. I don't think he's gonna be a villain, but it's just a nice touch if he's not all that perfect, that's all. Now let's lock in again and talk about the weapons, the elements that this character will have. Again, I assume that this weapon is gonna be a gauntlet or it's gonna be a rectifier. That is between those two. But then they have this quote that the person said, "May this gold become your most reliable blade." I would also think it's possible that the one could just be some sort of thing that he's holding and then can transform into a blade, a sword. I don't know. Kuro can always change and twist around whatever we interpret. Like Mornye, for example, she is clearly a rectifier user, but turns out she used a broad blade. But at the end of the day, she also did not use the broad blade in all her attacks. She kind of just shoots from afar, right? So they could just make Luuk do the exact same thing. He may use this one thing, he could just be shooting from afar, but there could be some sort of twist behind it as well. As for the elements, it's kind of looking a little bit like Spectral, Spectral or Aero. It's between those two. I would be very surprised if they just end up making him into a Havok unit or Glacio because he has a window behind in the in his official art. That just seems a bit too much. But then you see this this let me just zoom in again. You have this Arctic thing, the mountain. It looks like Alaska, but yeah, it looks like it's from some place that is snowy. So why not, right? A glacier unit. It could be. There's a lot of possibilities here. Where he's from, there's trees around, there's like nature here. It could be Spectral, and the color palette that he has around his jacket, it seems Aero. We could keep making guesses over and over and over, but for that, we'll just have to wait for Kuro for the result. But this is still a good theory, and there's also these transparent characters that are walking on the stairway. This is probably his father, right here, okay? This has to be some sort of a father figure, and this is definitely Luuk when he was a kid. We're gonna get a backstory, 100%. We will get a hangout or like a quest, but we hang out with Luuk. We're not gonna get a character story quest like Yen. We probably won't get that ever again. Nowadays, Kurogames like to combine both hangout and the main story together. That's kind of how it goes now. They kind of force you into playing these hangouts now, and I'm not mad about it. That's fine. And this is Luuk when he's finally grown up and you don't see the parent anymore, the dad right here. This has to be a dad or the person that he looks up to. This is him. It has to be. That is about all I can tell about Luuk. And again, he seems like a person that is hiding the truth, and he does look like a bit of a villainous side into it. I would love something like that to happen. His designs alone, I don't know what his kids are gonna be. He has all of these DNAs around his back. He has DNA's keychain, he has DNA's belt. Maybe it's cloning, right? Maybe there's something related to cloning, and he will make a bunch of clones of himself attacking the enemies. I would love something like that. That does seem pretty good. It will probably be cool. And you see this statue, for example, right? This statue is white. It's all white, it has no colors. It looks like a clone of himself. That's also something I see. And like DNA, and there's this statue of white, there's no colors, the hair, and you see all these silhouettes, they're transparent, possibly something that he creates for himself and by using his own DNA. That is just my theory of what his kids is gonna be like. That does sound to me very amazing. And now let's look into this trailer, this teaser trailer of Luuk. Okay, can you listen to it? I'm gonna lower the volume right there. Alright. Again, there's always like this music they play. It sounds like it sounds like some Harry Potter stuff here. I mean, it sounds like you walking in a mansion or something. Very magical, very majestic. Like a knight. Yeah, it sounds like that. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, but it's not as good as AMF. AMF soundtrack is so good, and it actually caught me by surprise how much I was vibing into AMF soundtrack. This is not so much. This to me is not so much, but it's still quite decent. I think he's gonna be a very good character, although I definitely will have to skip for him. I don't think I'll be pulling for this character, but I know a lot of people, a lot of you guys will definitely want this character, even just a little bit if he were to buff your account or so, because this is really not a bad design character. Kuro, at the end of the day, every single time, since Rinasita's release, they have never failed to surprise me with how good they are handling with the character designs in this game. So as always, I wish you all the best in getting the characters, the 5-star characters that you are preparing to pull for. If you want Luuk, I hope you get him, because every single time when the new characters pop up, they are all very much anticipated characters. Kuro tease us with the early drip marketing and then just leave us hanging like that for a long time, and then they release character that's like Lynae, for example, a good resonance liberation buff, and then Mornye, they're gonna be a good support unit, and then there's gonna be Ameth that's possibly gonna be working well with 2 of those characters, and then Luuk is also gonna be part of this whole circle, that they're all just connected, that they all will just work together in some ways. So I wish you good luck in pulling for characters that you wish to have. That's about it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.